Okay, welcome back to the second installment of the basically, I don't want to say book read through, but From One Young Soul to Another, Chapter 2, The Never Ending Self Improvement Game. So, this builds upon the first episode where we talked about losing yourself in someone else and the troubling situations you can find yourself in when you like someone and they don't really like you back, or maybe they like you but they don't want to go in a relationship and all that stuff. Everyone goes through it at some point, so it was a good lesson for me, and whether you've gone through it or not, you'll either relate to it or you will hopefully take that advice and use it in the future. So, chapter 2 here builds on that, because basically what happened to me after I decided to just cut this girl off, essentially, not really cut her off, but kind of stop talking to her, was I decided to just fill that hole in my heart with trying to improve myself. And so basically, I just became an insane runner. It was the month of, I think it was either August or September of this past year, so 2020, August, yeah. So, well, let me lay this out. So, I get stuck on a motivational YouTube binge, which I'm sure a lot of you have gone through that, where you just are watching all these motivational YouTube videos. You're trying to psych yourself up to really improve your life, and especially for getting over something sad like that, where you're kind of getting over a girl or a guy or whatever, and you just have to find a way out of it to like dig yourself out of this hole that you dug yourself into. And the easiest way to feel like you're really moving up and out of this hole is to just improve the hell out of yourself. And it's so easy to do this with exercise because there's really tangible evidence that you're really improving yourself. Like with a lot of things in life, it moves very slow. Like especially when it comes to like a career, like a getting a career or making money or whatever, it happens slowly. Like anything that comes too quickly to you is really not the best thing. Like it's gonna come and go quick. The best things in life happen slowly over time. And so at the same time, though, it's frustrating during the process to feel like you're really improving yourself when you're not seeing the tangible evidence come through. But with working out, it's so easy. Because while it does take time for you to build muscle, lose weight, get stronger and all that, you can still see yourself along the way making moves, making real strides. Like after a week of working out hard or running really hard, you can really see the difference in your body. You can tell in your energy levels. You're tired every day, so like you know that like you're putting in the work, because you wouldn't be tired if you weren't putting in the work. So it's so easy to fall into this trap. And I don't want to say it's a trap, because obviously you're improving yourself nonetheless. But it obviously does not help you really heal yourself properly. You're kind of just pushing it to the side and forgetting about it and distracting yourself with all these improvements that you're making in your life. And motivational YouTube, man, it's a tough place. Like, I mean, guys like Gary Vaynerchuk, Tony Robbins, David Goggins, you know, it's hard to watch those guys and not want to just get up and go. But at the same time, you kind of get stuck in this loop where you just keep watching the videos. So you feel like you're really improving yourself because you're making the step to get motivated, but you're not actually getting motivated and doing things. You're kind of just sitting there on YouTube watching. Like the content you're watching is great, it's motivating, but you're not really taking action on it. So are you really improving yourself? So, you know, you may have to watch a lot of videos to really push yourself to get out. But once you do, you feel like you're improving yourself and all that. But so what I want to discuss is David Goggins. So David Goggins was the one that really drew me in the most, because that dude is just hard. I mean, like, he is the definition of hard. I mean, like, going through Navy SEALs BUD/S training 3 times straight before passing, going to Army Ranger school and like doing all the amazing things he's done. Ultra marathon runner. So I find this on motivational YouTube. There's a guy named Captain Sinbad I was watching as well, and he had a "What Would Goggins Do" T-shirt, kind of like a base on the "What Would Jesus Do," you know. And I loved it, so I bought it. And like that was the moment I felt really in. I was like, I got the T-shirt. I'm running. I'm not gonna be David Goggins, but I'm gonna take some of these lessons I got from him and really force myself to go out there and work and improve myself and forget about that dumb girl that I met in the summer. So I was running my ass off. Like I'm looking at the book just so I can get it right. So there was a Nike Run Club. If you don't know what Nike Run Club is, it's like a fitness tracker basically. So when you run, if you have your phone on you, and you can press track or whatever, and it'll track your distance, your time, how many calories you burned, all that. It's great. And they have these challenges where it's like a worldwide thing. Everyone on Nike Run Club can participate. So there was a challenge in August. It was like a worldwide running challenge, and I don't even remember the desired goal, but everyone had to run like however many miles, and then we would complete it and all that. But you're also competing against everyone in the race too, because you want to be one of the top runners. And my goal was to be a top 10% runner, so to have run more than 90% of the participants. So I was running a lot, and I ended up running over 70 miles that month, which if you break it down is about 2 miles a day. And I slowed down towards the end. I think the last week or 10 days, I was just so burnt out that I didn't run nearly as much. But I was probably on pace for like 90 to 100 miles early on in the month. I was getting up at 5 a.m., I was going out, and I was running at least 3 miles a day. There were some days where I did 6 miles, depending on whether I had to go to work later in the day or not. But there was a couple of off days where I'm like, you know what, screw it. I'm running 6 miles today. I hadn't even eaten breakfast. I'm like, let's go. Fasted run, 6 miles, and it felt good in the time, it did. But like I said, I got burnt out. But so I fell short of my goal of the top 10%, but I ended up in the top 20%. So I did great. I mean, it was the best stretch of exercising I've ever done, and especially running. And I've never really been a consistent runner, so running 70 miles in a month felt amazing. And since that month, being in the winter now has kind of hurt that. But I think I've run 12 miles in the 4 or so months since that challenge ended, so I definitely burnt myself out. But in the time, it felt so good. It felt like I was really working on myself. I was getting better. I was doing all these things. And, deep down, it was a ploy to tell myself I don't need her. I'm great, she's gonna regret this, and blah blah blah, all that stuff we tell ourselves to get over someone. And after a while, like towards the time I was getting burnt out, at the end of August and early September, I was really just like realizing what was happening to me was I was just trying to pour sweat basically into the hole in my heart to fill the hole that she left by not being with me, which is really just a hole we create ourselves. Like, as I'll discuss later in the book, we create our own self, or the own holes we have in our heart. Like, we are complete humans. We don't have holes. We need love, but on our own, we are what we need to be. And, again, we have needs. We need food, water, shelter, and love, companionship. But when we're searching for a significant other, we kind of just create our own battle wounds and scars that we try to fix. And we try to fix them in the wrong way a lot of times. And one of these ways is just self-improvement. And I think, again, nothing wrong with self-improvement, because at the end of the day, you are improving. And, you know, once you recover from all these wounds and battle scars, you're going to be better for it. So you can't complain about that or say it's bad. But I think the problem with self-improvement for most people, especially in the situation that I was in, is that you look at self-improvement as more of a destination than a journey. Like, when I got to the end of that month, I felt better, but it wasn't because of the self-improvement. It was because I really took time to process what happened, why it happened, you know, telling myself that it wasn't my fault, and really just the self-love aspect is the most important part. And if you love yourself and who you are, getting over someone not wanting to be friends with you or date you or whatever isn't as hard as it is when you kind of, like, I don't want to say hate yourself, because I didn't hate myself before this happened, but I did feel like I needed someone in my life to improve it. And, you know, people can improve your life, but you don't need other people to improve your life. You can do so much for yourself on your own. I mean, we are in complete control of our life. And while it is better to have people around us, and it's more fun to have friends and family and loved ones around us, we don't need that. We think we do. We tell ourselves we do. Society tells us we do. We don't actually really need it. We're good on our own. We really are. And I think once you really do start to work on the self-love and really love yourself and who you are, what you're about, who is in and out of your life it doesn't bother you as much. And me now, from a point where I'm months and months removed from all this, I can really see that. And moving forward, I don't really care to be in a relationship anytime soon, because I have things I'm working on, you know, with more writing and videos and all that stuff. And I'm doing that for me. And I don't need someone in my life that's going to take anything away from that, because what makes me happy and feel fulfilled is really the number one priority. So I do see self-improvement as more of a journey, because these are the things you figure out along the way. And it's like Jim Carrey has something kind of similar to this on money and fame. He's like, I want everyone to be rich and famous just to see that it doesn't really do as much for you as you think. I mean, we have so many things in our life that we look forward to that's going to make our life so much better. And once we actually get there, we realize those things really they're not what we thought they were. They don't help us as much as we thought. The things you learn along the way, though, are really what you can look back at. And in any kind of pursuit of anything in life, there's going to be lessons. And I think the lesson in self-improvement is that you don't need to get abs or be a top 10% runner in the Nike Run Club Challenge to be an awesome human that everyone is going to want to be around, you know? Like, you are good the way you are. And if you improve yourself, if you want to improve yourself, whether it's physically, fiscally, you know, with a job or whatever, then you need to do it for yourself. And you shouldn't be trying to achieve things so you're pleasing other people or making other people jealous or making other people regret things. Like, you need to do things for yourself and work on yourself for yourself, and stop trying to fill these holes in your heart through external gains, because that's just not a long-lasting way to do things. And if you search externally to fill these holes, you're always going to continue to look for those external gains. So you have to work on the inside of yourself. You have to work on yourself and realize that no matter what you do or don't do, or no matter whether you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend or not, that you're fine, everything's okay, you're doing great, and you don't need to continue to search for those external gains to prove that to yourself.